A daemon, demon or fiend, is a supernatural, often malevolent being prevalent in religion, occultism, literature, fiction, mythology and folklore. The original Greek word daimon does not carry the negative connotation initially understood by implementation of the Koine I plus or minus I to the first I 1/4 I or I 1/2 I to the first I 1/2, and later ascribed to any cognate words sharing the root. In ancient Near Eastern religions as well as in the Abrahamic traditions, including ancient and medieval Christian demonology, a demon is considered an unclean spirit, a fallen angel, or a spirit of unknown type which may cause demonic possession, calling for an exorcism. In Western occultism and Renaissance magic, which grew out of an amalgamation of Greco-Roman magic, Jewish demonology and Christian tradition, a demon is a spiritual entity that may be conjured and controlled. Etymology. The ancient Greek word I plus or minus I 1/4 I per mil I 1/2 daimon denotes a spirit or divine power, much like the Latin genius or numen. Daimon most likely came from the Greek verb diesti. The Greek conception of a daimon notably appears in the works of Plato, where it describes the divine inspiration of Socrates. To distinguish the classical Greek concept from its later Christian interpretation, the former is anglicized as either demon or daimon rather than demon. The Greek terms do not have any connotations of evil or malevolence. In fact, I micro a 1/2 I plus or minus I to the first I 1/4 I 1/2 I plus or minus eudaimonia, means happiness. By the early Roman Empire, cult statues were seen, by pagans and their Christian neighbors alike, as inhabited by the numinous presence of the gods. Like pagans, Christians still sensed and saw the gods and their power, and as something, they had to assume, lay behind it. By an easy traditional shift of opinion they turned these pagan demons into malevolent demons, the troop of Satan. Far into the Byzantine period Christians eyed their city's old pagan statuary as a seat of the demon's presence. It was no longer beautiful, it was infested. The term had first acquired its negative connotations in the Septuagint translation of the Hebrew Bible into Greek, which drew on the mythology of ancient Semitic religions. This was then inherited by the Koine text of the New Testament. The Western medieval and neo-medieval conception of a demon derives seamlessly from the ambient popular culture of late antiquity. The Hellenistic demon eventually came to include many Semitic and Near Eastern gods as evaluated by Christianity. The supposed existence of demons remains an important concept in many modern religions and occultist traditions. Demons are still feared as a popular superstition, largely due to their alleged power to possess living creatures. In the contemporary Western occultist tradition, a demon is a useful metaphor for certain inner psychological processes, though some may also regard it as an objectively real phenomenon. Some scholars believe that large portions of the demonology of Judaism, a key influence on Christianity and Islam, originated from a later form of Zoroastrianism, and were transferred to Judaism during the Persian era. Psychological archetype. Psychologist Wilhelm Wundt remarked that among the activities attributed by myths all over the world to demons, the harmful predominate, so that in popular belief bad demons are clearly older than good ones. Sigmund Freud developed this idea and claimed that the concept of demons was derived from the important relation of the living to the dead. The fact that demons are always regarded as the spirits of those who have died recently shows better than anything the influence of mourning on the origin of the belief in demons. M. Scott Peck, an American psychiatrist, wrote 2 books on the subject, People of the Lie, The Hope for Healing Human Evil and Glimpses of the Devil, a psychiatrist's personal accounts of possession, exorcism, and redemption. Peck describes in some detail several cases involving his patients. In People of the Lie he provides identifying characteristics of an evil person, whom he classified as having a character disorder. In Glimpses of the Devil Peck goes into significant detail describing how he became interested in exorcism in order to debunk the myth of possession by evil spirits only to be convinced otherwise after encountering 2 cases which did not fit into any category known to psychology or psychiatry. Peck came to the conclusion that possession was a rare phenomenon related to evil, and that possessed people are not actually evil. Rather, they are doing battle with the forces of evil. Although Peck's earlier work was met with widespread popular acceptance, his work on the topics of evil and possession has generated significant debate and derision. Much was made of his association with the controversial Malachi Martin, a Roman Catholic priest and a former Jesuit, despite the fact that Peck consistently called Martin a liar and manipulator. Richard Woods, a Roman Catholic priest and theologian, has claimed that Dr. Peck misdiagnosed patients based upon a lack of knowledge regarding dissociative identity disorder, and had apparently transgressed the boundaries of professional ethics by attempting to persuade his patients into accepting Christianity. Father Woods admitted that he has never witnessed a genuine case of demonic possession in all his years. Ancient Near East, Mesopotamia. According to the Jewish Encyclopedia, in Chaldean mythology the 7 evil deities were known as Shedu, storm demons, represented in ox-like form. They were represented as winged bulls, derived from the colossal bulls used as protective jinn of royal palaces. From Chaldea, the term Shedu traveled to the Israelites. The writers of the Tanakh applied the word as a dialogism to Canaanite deities. There are indications that demons in popular Hebrew mythology were believed to come from the netherworld. Various diseases and ailments were ascribed to them, particularly those affecting the brain and those of internal nature. Examples include the catalepsy, headache, epilepsy and nightmares. There also existed a demon of blindness, Shebari, who rested on uncovered water at night and blinded those who drank from it. Demons supposedly entered the body and caused the disease while overwhelming or seizing the victim. To cure such diseases, it was necessary to draw out the evil demons by certain incantations and talismanic performances, which the essence excelled at. Josephus, who spoke of demons as spirits of the wicked which enter into men that are alive and kill them, but which could be driven out by a certain route, witnessed such a performance in the presence of the Emperor Vespasian and ascribed its origin to King Solomon. In mythology, there were few defenses against Babylonian demons. The mythical Mace Shara had the power to slay demons such as Asag, a legendary Galu or Edimu of hideous strength. Ancient Arabia, pre-Islamic mythology did not differentiate between gods and demons. Jinn were considered divinities of inferior rank and had many human abilities, such as eating, drinking and procreating. While most jinn were considered peaceful and well-disposed towards humans, there also existed evil jinn who contrived to injure people. Hebrew Bible. Demons in the Hebrew Bible are of 2 classes, the Seirim and the Shudim. The Seirim, to which some Israelites offered sacrifices in the open fields, were satyr-like creatures, described as dancing in the wilderness. The Israelites also offered sacrifices to the Shudim. Judaism. According to some rabbinic sources, demons were believed to be under the dominion of a king or chief, either Asmodi or, in the older Haggadah, Samuel, who killed via poison. Occasionally a demon was called Satan. Stand not in the way of an ox when coming from the pasture, for Satan dances between his horns. Demonology never became an essential feature of Jewish theology. However, the existence of demons was never questioned by the Talmudists and late rabbis, nor did most of the medieval thinkers question their reality. Only rationalists like Maimonides and Abraham ibn Ezra explicitly denied their existence. Their point of view eventually became mainstream Jewish understanding. Rabbinical demonology has 3 classes of demons, though they are scarcely separable one from another. There were the Shudim, the Mazia-Kubdim, and the Ruyanin. There were also Lilin, to the first Elaine, to the first Iyar, and Nephia, as well as the demons that bring famine, and such as cause storm and earthquake. Second Temple period texts, biblical interpretation. Demons are sometimes included into biblical interpretation. In the story of Passover, the Bible tells the story as the Lord struck down all the firstborn in Egypt. In Jubilees, which is considered canonical only by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church as well as Beit Israel, this same event is told slightly differently. All the powers of the demon Mastema had been let loose to slay all the firstborn in the land of Egypt. And the powers of the Lord did everything according as the Lord commanded them. In Genesis, in the story of the flood, the author explains how God was noticing how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on earth had corrupted their ways. In Jubilees the sins of man is attributed to the unclean demons, who began to lead astray the children of the sons of Noah, and to make to and destroy them. In Jubilees Mastema questions the loyalty of Abraham and tells God to bid him offer him as a burnt offering on the altar, and thou wilt see if he will do this command. The discrepancy between the story in Jubilees and the story in Genesis 22 exists with the presence of Mastema. In Genesis, God tests the will of Abraham merely to determine whether he is a true follower, however. In Jubilees Mastema has an agenda behind promoting the sacrifice of Abraham, a unregistered trademark son, an even more demonic act than that of the Satan in Job. Apotropaic prayers. Throughout history, many cultures and religions have utilized apotropaic prayers and incantations to defend the sons of light from the forces of darkness within the cosmic conflict in which they were locked. The Jewish community in the Second Temple period is a perfect example of using these religious and magical tools for the purpose of protection from demons. Many choose to talk about his powers over wickedness as a tool for scaring away potential demons, because they believe that a solemn proclamation of God unregistered trademark power will protect the community and its members from attacks by demons. The Qumran community during the Second Temple period wrote this apotropaic prayer stating, "And, I the sage, declare the grandeur of his radiance in order to frighten and terrify all the spirits of the ravaging angels and the bastard spirits, demons, Liliths, owls." Rituals against evil. Some sacred rituals would be used for healing. One example of incantations used for healing can be seen in Tobit. Then the angel said to him, "Take out the entrails of the fish, and lay up his heart, and his gall, and his liver for thee, for these are necessary for useful medicines." And when he had done so, he roasted the flesh thereof, and they took it with them in the way, the rest they salted as much as might serve them, till they came to Rages, the city of the Medes. Then Tobias asked the angel, and said to him, "I beseech thee, brother Azarias, tell me what remedies are these things good for, which thou hast bid me keep of the fish?" And the angel, answering, said to him, "If thou put a little piece of its heart upon coals, the smoke thereof driveth away all kind of devils either from man or from woman, so that they come no more to them." These practices, as opposed to other medical practices, were used because resorting to doctors would be considered unacceptable, as this could be thought to encroach upon a divine prerogative. Other incantations were used to ward off other kinds of evil spirits, for they who in such manner receive matrimony, as to shut out God from themselves, and from their mind, and to give themselves to their lust, as the horse and mule, which have not understanding, over them the devil hath power. But thou when thou shalt take her, go into the chamber, and for 3 days keep thyself continent from her, and give thyself to nothing else but to prayers with her. Also this way, if misfortune was not averted, people would be able to validate the horrors in the world with the knowledge that sickness and other misfortunes experienced by people are ultimately the result of human wrongdoing and transgression. Demons under divine authority. Demons, despite being typically associated with evil, are often shown to be under divine control, and not acting of their own devices. In the War Scrolls, Belial controls scores of demons, which are specifically allotted to him by God for the purpose of performing evil. Belial, despite his malevolent disposition, is considered an angel, and therefore is of divine origin. A similar circumstance appears in Jubilees, where Mastema, an angel tasked with the tempting of mortals into sin and iniquity, requests that God give him 1/10 of the spirits of the children of the Watchers, demons, in order to aid the process. These demons are passed into Mastema unregistered trademark authority, where once again, an angel is in charge of demonic spirits. God is shown sending a demon against Saul in 1 Samuel 16 and 18 in order to punish him for the failure to follow God unregistered trademark instructions, showing God as having the power to use demons for his own purposes, putting the demon under divine authority. Watchers Nephilim. The sources of demonic influence were thought to originate from the Watchers or Nephilim, who are first mentioned in Genesis 6 and are the focus of 1 Enoch chapters 1-16, and also in Jubilees 10. The Nephilim were seen as the source of the sin and evil on earth because they are referenced in Genesis 6:4 before the story of the flood. In Genesis 6:5, God sees evil in the hearts of men. The passage states, a oeth wickedness of humankind on earth was greata and that oe every inclination of the thoughts of their hearts was only continually evil The mention of the Nephilim in the preceding sentence connects the spread of evil to the Nephilim. Enoch is a very similar story to Genesis 6:4 and provides further description of the story connecting the Nephilim to the corruption of humans. In Enoch, sin originates when angels descend from heaven and fornicate women, birthing giants as tall as 300 cubits. The giants and the angels see unregistered trademark departure of heaven and mating with human women are also seen as the source of sorrow and sadness on earth. The Book of Enoch shows that these fallen angels can lead humans to sin through direct interaction or through providing forbidden knowledge. In Enoch, Semios leads the angels to mate with women. Angels mating with humans is against God unregistered trademark commands and is a cursed action, resulting in the wrath of God coming upon earth. Azazel indirectly influences humans to sin by teaching them divine knowledge not meant for humans. Asel brings down the stolen mysteries Asel gives the humans weapons, which they use to kill each other. Humans are also taught other sinful actions such as beautification techniques, alchemy, astrology and how to make medicine. Demons originate from the evil spirits of the giants that are cursed by God to wander the earth. These spirits are stated in Enoch to corrupt, fall, be excited, and fall upon the earth, and cause sorrow The Book of Jubilees conveys that sin occurs when canon accidentally transcribes astrological knowledge used by the Watchers. This differs from Enoch in that it does not place blame on the angels. However, in Jubilees 10:4 the evil spirits of the Watchers are discussed as evil and still remain on earth to corrupt the humans. God binds only 90% of the Watchers and destroys them, leaving 10% to be ruled by Mastema. Because the evil in humans is great, only 10% will be needed to corrupt and lead humans astray. These spirits of the giants also referred to as oeth bastards in the aptropaik prayer songs of the sage, which lists the names of demons the narrator hopes to expel. Belial, curses of Belial equals fork berakot. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, there exists a fragment entitled oe curses of Belial equals fork berakot. This fragment holds much rich language that reflects the sentiment shared between the Qumran towards Belial. In many ways this text shows how these people thought Belial influenced sin through the way they address him and speak of him. By addressing oe Belial and all his guilty lot, they make it clear that he is not only impious, but also guilty of sins. Informing this state of uncleanliness are both his hostilia and a wick design Through this design, Belial poisons the thoughts of those who are not necessarily sinners. Thus a dualism is born from those inclined to be wicked and those who are in unregistered trademark T. It is clear that Belial directly influences sin by the mention of abominable plots and a guilty inclination These are both mechanisms by which Belial advances his evil agenda that the Qumran have exposed and are calling upon God to protect them from. There is a deep sense of fear that Belial will establish in their heart their evil devas This sense of fear is the stimulus for this prayer in the first place. Without the worry and potential of falling victim to Belial unregistered trademark demonic sway, the Qumran people would never feel impelled to craft a curse. This very fact illuminates the power Belial was believed to hold over mortals, and the fact that sin proved to be a temptation that must stem from an impure origin. In Jubilees 120, Belial unregistered trademark appearance continues to support the notion that sin is a direct product of his influence. Moreover, Belial unregistered trademark presence acts as a placeholder for all negative influences or those that would potentially interfere with God unregistered trademark will and a pious existence. Similarly to the egentile who cause them to sin against Yahweh Belial is associated with a force that drives one away from God. Coupled in this plea for protection against foreign rule, in this case the Egyptians, is a plea for protection from a oeth spirit of Belial Belial unregistered trademark tendency is to ensnare, you from every path of righteousness. This phrase is intentionally vague, allowing room for interpretation. Everyone, in one way or another, finds themselves straying from the path of righteousness, and by pawning this transgression off on Belial, he becomes a scapegoat for all misguidance, no matter what the cause. By associating Belial with all sorts of misfortune and negative external influence, the Qumran people are henceforth allowed to be let off for the sins they commit. Belial unregistered trademark S presence is found throughout the War Scrolls, located in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and is established as the force occupying the opposite end of the spectrum of God. In Kernel I, verse 1, the very first line of the document, it is stated that a first attack of the sons of light shall be undertaken against the forces of the sons of darkness, the army of Belial. This dichotomy sheds light on the negative connotations that Belial held at the time. Where God and his sons of light are forces that protect and promote piety, Belial and his sons of darkness cater to the opposite, instilling the desire to sin and encouraging destruction. This opposition is only reinforced later in the document. It continues to read that the will strike a blow at wickedness, ultimately resulting in the annihilation of the sons of darkness. This epic battle between good and evil described in such abstract terms, however, it is also applicable to everyday life and serves as a lens through which the Qumran see the world. Every day is the sons of light battle evil and call upon God to help them overcome evil in ways small and large. Belial unregistered trademark S influence is not taken lightly. In Col 11, verse 8, the text depicts God conquering the hordes of Belial. This defeat is indicative of God's unregistered trademark S power over Belial and his forces of temptation. However, the fact that Belial is the leader of hordes is a testament to how persuasive he can be. If Belial was obviously an arbiter of wrongdoing and was blatantly in the wrong, he would the unregistered trademark T be able to amass an army. This fact serves as a warning message, reasserting God's unregistered trademark S strength, while also making it extremely clear the breadth of Belial unregistered trademark S prowess. Belial unregistered trademark S awakens us to condemn and convict, so the Qumran feel strongly that their people are not only aware of his purpose, but also equipped to combat his influence. In the Damascus document, Belial also makes a prominent appearance, being established as a source of evil and an origin of several types of sin. In column 4, the first mention of Belial reads, Belial shall be unleashed against Israel. This phrase is able to be interpreted myriad different ways. Belial is characterized in a wild and uncontrollable fashion, making him seem more dangerous and unpredictable. The notion of being unleashed is such that once he is free to roam, he is unstoppable and able to carry out his agenda uninhibited. The passage then goes to enumerate the 3 nets by which Belial captures his prey and forces them to sin. Fornication racism and the profanation of the temple make up the 3 nets. These 3 temptations were 3 agents by which people were driven to sin, so subsequently, the Qumran people crafted the nets of Belial to rationalize why these specific temptations were so toxic. Later in column 5, Belial is mentioned again as one of removers of bound who led Israel astray. This statement is a clear display of Belial unregistered trademark S influence over man regarding sin. The passage goes on to state, Ethi preached rebellion against God. Belial unregistered trademark S purpose is to undermine the teachings of God, and he achieves this by imparting his nets on humans, or the incentive to sin. Kabbalah. Some benevolent shudim were used in Kabbalistic ceremonies and malevolent shudim were often credited with possession. Similarly, a shed might inhabit an otherwise inanimate statue. Christian demonology. In the Gospels, particularly the Gospel of Mark, Jesus cast out many demons or evil angels from those afflicted with various ailments. He also lent this power to some of his disciples. The demons were cast out by the utterance of a name, according to Matthew 7:22, with some groups insisting the original pronunciation of the name Jesus be used. The demons or unclean spirits themselves were said to often recognize Jesus as the Messiah. In Matthew 12:43, Jesus taught that when demons were driven from a human, they went through dry places as disembodied spirits seeking respite, although on some occasion he would send them into a herd of swine. Through all accounts, Jesus had never failed in his exorcism of a demon. By way of contrast, in Acts, a group of Judaistic exorcists known as the Sons of Sceva attempted to cast out a powerful spirit without belief in Jesus, but failed with disastrous consequences. Revelation 12:7-17 describes a battle between God's army and Satan's followers and the latter's subsequent expulsion from heaven to earth in order to persecute humans. Luke 10:18 mentions a power granted by Jesus to cast out demons made Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Apuleius, by Augustine of Hippo, is ambiguous as to whether demons had become demonized by the early 5th century. Apuleius also states that the blessed are called in Greek eudaimons, because they are good souls, that is to say, good demons, confirming his opinion that the souls of men are demons. The contemporary Roman Catholic Church unequivocally teaches that angels and demons are real beings rather than just symbolic devices. The Catholic Church has a cadre of officially sanctioned exorcists which perform many exorcisms each year. The exorcists of the Catholic Church teach that demons attack humans continually but that afflicted persons can be effectively healed and protected either by the formal rite of exorcism, authorized to be performed only by bishops and those they designate, or by prayers of deliverance, which any Christian can offer for themselves or others. Building upon the few references to demons in the New Testament, especially the poetry of the Book of Revelation, Christian writers of Apocrypha from the 2nd century onwards created a more complicated tapestry of beliefs about demons that was largely independent of Christian scripture. At various times in Christian history, attempts have been made to classify demons according to various proposed demonic hierarchies. According to Christian demonology, demons will be eternally punished and never will reconcile with God. Other theories postulate a universal reconciliation, in which Satan, the fallen angels, and the souls of the dead that were condemned to hell reconcile with God. This doctrine is today often associated with the Unification Church. Origen, Jerome, and Gregory of Nyssa also mentioned this possibility. Ceremonial magic: while some people fear demons, or attempt to exorcise them, others willfully attempt to summon them for knowledge, assistance, or power. The ceremonial magician usually consults a grimoire, which gives the names and abilities of demons as well as detailed instructions for conjuring and controlling them. Grimoires aren't limited to demons, some give the names of angels or spirits which can be called, a process called yuji. The use of ceremonial magic to call demons is also known as goetia, the name taken from a section within the famous grimoire The Lesser Key of Solomon. Wicca: according to Rosemary Ellen Guiley, demons are not courted or worshipped in contemporary Wicca and paganism. The existence of negative energies is acknowledged. Islam recognizes the existence of jinn, which are sentient beings with free will that can coexist with humans. In Islam, evil jinn are referred to as the shayatan or demons devils, with Bul as their chief. Bul was one of the first jinn. He disobeyed Allah and did not bow down before Adam, refusing to acknowledge a creature made of clay. Thus, Bul was condemned to Jahannam. He asked for respite until the last day, when he vowed to make mankind fall and deny the existence of their creator, to which Allah replied that Bul would only be able to mislead those who were not righteous believers, warning that Bul and all who followed him in evil would be punished in hell. Hinduism includes numerous varieties of spirits that might be classified as demons, including Vitalas, Bhutas and Pishachas. Rakshasas and Asuras are often also taken as demons. Asuras. Originally, Asura, in the earliest hymns of the Rig Veda, meant any supernatural spirit either good or bad. Since the of the Indic linguistic branch is cognate with the of the early Iranian languages, the word Asura, representing a category of celestial beings, became the word Ahura, the supreme god of the monotheistic Zoroastrians. Ancient Hinduism tells that Devas and Asuras are half-brothers, sons of the same father Kasyapa. although some of the devas, such as Varuna, are also called asuras. Later, during Puranic age, asura and rakshasa came to exclusively mean any of a race of anthropomorphic, powerful, possibly evil beings. Daitya, rakshasa, and asura are incorrectly translated into English as demon. In Hindu mythology, pious, highly enlightened asuras, such as Prahlada and Vibhishana, are not uncommon. The asura are not fundamentally against the gods, nor do they tempt humans to fall. This is markedly different from the traditional Western notions of demons as a rival army of God, but comparable with the concept of the jinns in Islam. Many people metaphorically interpret the asura as manifestations of the ignoble passions in the human mind and as a symbolic devices. There were also cases of power-hungry asuras challenging various aspects of the gods, but only to be defeated eventually and seek forgiveness see Surapadman and Narakasura. Evil spirits. Hinduism advocates the reincarnation and transmigration of souls according to one's karma. Souls of the dead are adjudged by Yama and are accorded various purging punishments before being reborn. Humans that have committed extraordinary wrongs are condemned to roam as lonely, often evil, spirits for a length of time before being reborn. Many kinds of such spirits are recognized in the later Hindu texts. These beings, in a limited sense, can be called demons. Bahá'í faith. In the Bahá'í faith, demons are not regarded as independent evil spirits as they are in some faiths. Rather, evil spirits described in various faiths traditions, such as Satan, fallen angels, demons and jinns, are metaphors for the base character traits a human being may acquire and manifest when he turns away from God and follows his lower nature. Belief in the existence of ghosts and earthbound spirits is rejected and considered to be the product of superstition. See also. References. Citations: Freud, Sigmund. Totem and Taboo, Some Points of Agreement Between the Mental Lives of Savages and Neurotics. Trans. Strachey. New York, W. W. Norton and Company. ISBN A978-0-393-00143-3 Want, W. Mythos und Religion, Tale 2. Leipzig. Castaneda, Carlos. The Active Side of Infinity. HarperCollins NYISBN 978-0-06-019220-4. Further reading, Oppenheimer, Paul. Evil and the Demonic, A New Theory of Monstrous Behavior. New York, New York University Press. ISBN A978-0-8147-6193-9. Catholic, Barlio, Matt. The Rite, The Making of a Modern Exorcist. Doubleday Religion. ISBN A0385522703. Amorth, Fr. Gabrielle. An Exorcist Tells His Story. Ignatius Press. ISBN A0898707102. External links, Catechism of the Catholic Church, hyperlinked references to demons in the online Catechism of the Catholic Church, Dictionary of the History of Ideas, Demonology, Profile of William Bradshaw, American Demonologist. Riverfront Times, St. Louis, Missouri, USA. August 2008.